who bailed us out to allow us to pay for the rights to broadcast the World Cup.
In addition to the ever-increasing demand for effective programming and diversification of news and current affairs, GRTS Supremo has been outlining the institution's strategic objective.
We have a pilot phase, which we call Operation Decentralizing Our Operations, ODO, which basically means instead of all the time calling for deploying a team to, let's say, Basse, to cover events, we would have already had a team stationed in Basse. This goes with cost. This goes with infrastructure, software, hardware, material, and even training to set up something to enhance our capacity to be an information hub nationwide. And that is one of the reasons why we wanted to take it up on ourselves.
It's not a tall order. Over the years, GRTS has navigated around the country, catching scenes that depict the countryside and keeping the audience abreast with what's happening in and outside the country or even beyond the Gambia. This fundraising gala dinner is just part of the vision and strategic direction GRTS is poised to follow in its bid to achieve set targets.
And at the same time, we want to make GRTS #1 in the sub-region when it comes to broadcasting. But that wouldn't be an easy task. It needs the mobilization of resources. And then we, as an association, say, we cannot do it without the public support. We've been giving up to the public a lot. And now we're saying it's our time also to ask the public to come and then reciprocate the justice that we have been, the services that we've been giving out to the public.
Headquartered along the busy MDI road in Carnivin, GRTS has systematically transformed itself since it began sending signals in 1995. The station continued to bank on the support and benevolence of everyone to go all the way.
Take it this way, we are a key partner to every household in this country. And I'm going to say this in Wolof. Sa yolen ñu oyé ñu fa. Bi time nak ñun ñoo oté. So ñu ngi sentu ku nekk pour mu support this initiative so that liñ bëgg def bo leen ñu ci jappalé ñu ni tamit ñu mëna béy suñu waal ci liñ ñu sas ak liñ sentu ci ñun. So ñu ngi sentu maximum support and cooperation from everybody. Ci nguur gi, private sector bi, regional offices, Safolu, the communities, NGO community, diplomatic fraternity, because ñepp ñu soxla té ñepp lañu liggéeyal. So defena bu GRTS oté tay ñepp war nañ ci japp. Té loolu rek lañu sentu. Nothing less.
Ibrahima Balde, GRTS News.
Mega musician Titi arrived in the Gambia this evening ahead of GRTS Staff Association's string of fundraising events slated for this weekend. The mega program will kick off on Friday evening with a gala dinner at Paradise Suites Hotel, and entertainment will be provided by Titi and her Barry Bagas Band alongside other musicians. The fundraiser will continue at Paradise Suites Hotel Saturday night with a dance. Come out in your numbers to support this worthy initiative that could have a massive impact on the services provided by the state broadcaster. Campaigners seeking to ensure access to education for all are reminding world leaders of the promises they made in Dakar back in 2000, which led the formulation of 6 Education for All goals. The week of advocacy, spearheaded by the Campaign on Education for All, IFANET, commenced with a policy dialogue. Uminjai picks up the rest of that story.
Network has again gathered stakeholders and members of the disability community on a day policy dialogue as part of its Global Action Week celebration. The right to education for all, especially children with disability, is very paramount, as this year's Action Week celebration is themed Education and Disability.
There has been a big improvement in terms of access to education, but there are challenges, and the challenges include those children who are disabled, and this is why we are saying this year education and disability, because if disabled children are not going to school, then you can say that, the disability, the issue of disability, is one factor why children are not going to school. So we want to look at that.
Children with disability the world over are faced with multitude of barriers in their participation in society, especially with regards to education. This has resulted to retard development, as in most cases they are left behind in decision making. However, some measures are put in place to ensure their participation and right to education in society by the body responsible for basic and secondary education.
Education is very important for every individual, and individuals with special needs also need education, because education is a basic human right. Therefore, those with special needs also have a basic human right to have access to education. Unfortunately, those with special needs do not have the same opportunities like every other child. Therefore, just government and all stakeholders should be on board to help those children to have access to the curriculum and to school in general.
7 contextual strategies meant to help the physically challenged people in society have been drafted. The strategies are put in place to ensure appropriate trained teachers for all and to create conducive environment to all, thereby helping them realize some of their potentials.
Trained teachers are very important with regards, because they need a lot of specialized methodology in teaching those with special needs. What the education sector is doing, yes, it is difficult to train all teachers on special needs, but at Gambia College there is a module on special needs education, and at our level at the unit we have trained itinerant teachers. We call them polyvalent itinerant trained teachers. These teachers are trained to support children with diverse special needs, those with physical handicaps, those with visual impairment, those with hearing impairment. They provided with motor bicycles and fuel. They are in charge of clusters within the regions.
We want to create greater awareness on the right of children with disability to education. We want to create that awareness. Government, we've been working with government, and there have been a lot of inroads. But the general public, some of the families, they have their children who are disabled, and these children are not going to school. We want to create that kind of awareness so that they understand that every person has the potentials to learn. And once you learn, then your chances of developing your skills, your God-given potentials is greater than if you are not educated.
During this week-long celebration, issues like changing people's attitude towards discriminating people with disabilities will be highlighted, as the theme is centered on education and disability, and celebrations will also feature a National Bantaba Forum at the National Assembly Complex in Banjul. Uminjai, GRTS.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia after this break. Don't go away.
Gambia damane pencum rew me ote the Gambia Radio and Television Services GRTS Staff Association ci njiitali His Excellency the President Cheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jammeh ñoo fas kene sumbu ci ngalum banquet dinner a grand dance with a difference bu fi gëj am su fi musé am sax on the 23rd of May ak on the 24th of May 2014 set diggi penc mi xool featuring the now happening queen of Mbalax Titi saf ñepp Titi dama ne Titi pare rajaxe penc mi xool. You've never seen her on stage like this before. Titi by popular demand ñepp di joy mos dolli and nak ay ndaanaan artiste fii ci biir réew mi. Tickets gala platinum $60,000 diamond $50,000 gold $40,000 and the individual $1,000 grand dance ticket $500 and $300 flat. For all reservations please call 991-1992 365-5518 203-1850 682-9536 suñu réew Gambia.
Welcome back. Mali has declared 3 days of national mourning